So, I may actually have pretty terrible taste in films because I kind of like this. In Phoenix Forgotten, three teenagers went missing after the mysterious Phoenix Lights appeared one night in the sky. 20 years later, the footage was found, and we follow one of the teenagers' sister as she finally uncovers the truth of what happened to them. Even as a die-hard found footage fan, I can't deny going into this, I was expecting another Area 51 crap fest. Just an hour of boring setup and 10 minutes of genuine horror. And shockingly, I wasn't completely wrong with that statement. Look, this movie has a lot of setup before we see anything close to horror. Yet, I thought the setup really worked. So this certainly isn't going to be a movie for everyone, and certainly for people who just want to get to the horror really quick and really early on. And also, if you're a found footage hater, this is not going to convert you over. And like I said, I really like the setup to this movie quite a bit. I think the setup introduces us to some likable characters who really become obsessed with the Phoenix Lights and the possibility that the government might not be telling them the whole truth about the lights. And I think the movie does a pretty good job at selling the mystery and making us care enough about these characters and the journey that they go on. Now, the Phoenix Lights was a real event that occurred, and while the movie may be a fictional story, they do a solid job at making the footage feel real. This really does feel like it's set in the 90s, and I think they do a good job with the atmosphere and the setting of this film. And I found a lot of the interviews and questions that this film presents actually kind of compelling. And the movie really does dig deep into obsession and the outcome one can have on obsession. Now, the film does jump back and forth from the 90s and present day, 2017, and sometimes you do feel the jump, but I did like this aspect. It kind of felt like we were watching this film get made as we go along with one of these teenager sisters, so I found that was a really fun and fascinating watch. I didn't expect all the questions to get answered, but one or two questions are left unresolved that I think may hurt the film. I think had maybe one or two of these questions, particularly, I won't get into spoilers, but with the military, would have really helped streamline the plot, and I think some people will walk out with a little bit more questions than they probably would have liked. Still, the movie is all built up to a final 20 minutes, which I thought worked. It felt tense, real, and it was quite scary if you ask me. And the movie earns major points for staying away from jump scares. It generally tries to scare you through old-fashioned suspense and atmosphere. Phoenix Forgotten was a nice, pleasant surprise. It's like Blair Witch meets the X-Files, and while it might not offer anything new, it's still an effective found-footage horror film with solid characters, intriguing mystery, and good suspense with little to no jump scares to be found. A film I would recommend to found-footage fans and only found-footage fans. You don't have to run out to the nearest theater to see it, but it's worthy of checking out whenever it hits your platform of your choice. As the score goes, I'm going to give Phoenix Forgotten a 3.5 out of 5. There you have it. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, but I would not be shocked if some of you guys hated it. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of Phoenix Forgotten. And until next time, I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been slashed.